mining along Solomon Island and especially along Isabel province. There are a lot of talks going around, especially along with the land holding or landholders group since Sumitongo and Axum. Now I'm interested to do mining law Isabel.
Most of our people, they need to be empowered through awareness so that they know what mining is, what are the impacts, what are the benefits. And if at all, like with a very fragile landscape and ecosystem that we have in the province, I think we need to be very careful on what will be good for our people.
Because I have been I have heard lots of stories about Australia, and now I'm in Australia now, and I see what is Australia is.
High above, floating in the clouds of white, falling in.
Many people in Choiseul and Isabel are unsure about what mining is and what it may mean for their natural environment, their social structures, and also the economy as a whole. So TNC thought it would be a great idea to bring people over to Australia to look at some of these examples and look at other ways that people are using their natural resources in the form of ecotourism, business enterprises, and how, where there is mining occurring, how people are benefiting from mining, getting the best possible outcomes.
We have nickel mining project below Choiseul and Isabel. Below Choiseul, we are also having some interest belong some companies for doing bauxite mining in Wagina, which is a very small island too. So I think my trip here is very important for me, learning what now, how people bloom, especially indigenous people in Australia, how they deal with the mining issue along here, how do they get the benefits, how do they share the benefits around working people, and they're thinking of mining generally, what impacts it has on the community. I think that one is very important for me come and observe them along here.
Like now we're in Australia, in Kakadu National Park now. It's quite a very big landmass, like it's around 20,000 square kilometers of protected areas, yeah? Like this national park in Kakadu. That should be around 6 times Choiseul Island. So it's quite a very big landmass, and very little, less people who reside here in Kakadu.
We will come here, and a little bit different. I'm inside the bush. I'm no same Solomon. You got him reef, you got him island, you got him place to swim. But here maybe you got him place to swim, but crocodiles stuck out too, so you may care a little bit, yeah.
Now the reason Kakadu came about was because of a number of different interests in the region. First of all, they found huge deposits of uranium. So this was in the 1960s and 70s when they found deposits here. So then they said, let's have an inquiry, investigate. Is it worth the Australian government being involved in the nuclear fuel cycle, starting from mining? So they held quite a large inquiry. At the same time, particularly for this area, they realised that there was incredible Aboriginal rock art. The Aboriginal people were still living here, practising their culture, speaking their language, living on their land.
But for us, it's very important for land here, in this land, here in Australia. Very important land. You know, the land is represent us. And these people, they just come here and they do the mining, and what they give what they do, the landowner, I'll give you more money and you give me land, and I'll do. What they did here in Jabu, they make big lot of mess here, yeah, and we can't happy, yeah.
The traditional owners of the Northern Territory areas where you may visit him, like Kakadu and Nulunbai, these people are very connected to the land. They have a strong belief that forefathers, ancestors, their spirits are still alive. And without the land, they are gone. That's what I'm hearing from other people these parts of Australia. Solomon, we are also similar situation. We are connected to the land. We depend on the land. The land is our mother. Okay. Without the land, when the land is gone, where are we going to go?
Isabel is an agricultural land. A lot of people do their subsistence farming, meaning that oketa rely lo oketa wanim oketa grom lo land, yeah? And wanim oketa go out lo sea for take him out lo sea, such as shellfish, fish, or same. Okay, so at the moment that's our not life blooming. So time mining, me worry lo that one because by big fala area na by oketa ka mining lo there, yeah, which means that by land that you may once upon a time used for planting oketa crops blooming for kaike ose, that one it will be taken away.
This mining is small for Australia, but it's very big for Solomon Island. Yeah, a lot of money will be coming, but a lot of destruction will also be caused to the environment. So, which is more, destruction or money?
My question is on the mining that is on the site. Yes. Does it have a detrimental effect to the park itself, or will it be in the future? Or, is there any benefit that goes to the traditional people because the mine is located on the traditional site?
They get paid a royalty. The Mirror traditional owners, they're the traditional owners for the Ranger mine and the Jabiluka proposed mine. So they get paid a royalty payment which goes straight to their organisation, and they're using that money these days. They've built a school hostel accommodation so that their children could stay in Jabiru during the week, going to school, and then they go home on the weekends to spend time with family. They're spending more money now on developing a community program to look at the children's future. What other social programs? In the last few years, they've been spending a lot more money on social programs because there has been a major impact of the mine. I mean, you look at Jabiru. Jabiru wouldn't be there because of the uranium mine. It's the only reason it's there. I mean, we could probably still manage a national park without a little town inside it, but that town was built for the workers of the uranium mine. And with the town comes a social club that sells alcohol. Different people from all over the world come and work here, so different cultural values get brought into the region. Sometimes people stay here for a long time, then they think they can go out on country and do whatever they want to do, and traditional owners say, hey, there's too many people going up that road and they shouldn't be going there. Weeds, we've got new weeds that have come in. That's probably people, and animals do as well. With the physical impact of the mine on the park, at the very beginning, the government decided that because it was a national park and they were going for World Heritage status, they needed a independent body to monitor or be a little watchdog over the uranium mine. So that's the Office of Supervising Scientist, and they, every week, they're out there taking samples of water, mussels, you know, like getting, just to see what's happening in that downstream of the uranium mine.
What me looking from Mifalalo Solomon is that I think if all our leaders work together with a good heart for our people, I think things will achieve a good thing. But since that our leaders in Solomon Islands work together, as me sabe and me observe him, I think him good that Otamas work together, make him things him like I can do too.
We're not going to die if there's no mining and take place. Mining can come along maybe the next few years, but the question is, are we really ready for it? Whether people are ready for him psychologically, even got him legislation ready for him, are we really prepared? So yeah, maybe mining can happen, but not necessarily now, but maybe in the future, maybe 30 years down the track, 50 years down the track. And the question, let me like pose some people below me is, if mining not take place tomorrow, why you may die or what?
Also, you no can rush for making decision. Yeah, mining companies have a weight, and what about weight? Yeah, you must make sure that everything have done well, through and proper paper, writing also. People is have engaged a lot of kind of extracting big company, extracting industries also. Because the point is this: once you get into it, him hard for come out him. Yeah. So you think him good first time, learn him some lesson somewhere, go look Papua New Guinea, Australia and other places where this thing happen. Then he must make him good decision, hopefully.
We welcome you on behalf of the TOs that's gone before us, the past TOs and the present. Again, I welcome you. This place is very significant to me because my people stood here and protested that we lost the land right case. So my people still stood here and said, this land belongs to my people. Timuru means the east wind that's coming from the east, blowing this way. That's what Timuru mean. And the birds, the black and white, Yirika Dua, working together, you know. This mine started up, you know, and because of this mine, the white fella came here, you know, the Nabaki, and we have to live with them. Some are good, some are bad.
Timuru's is ranger to protect the area and show people to do the right thing because the area is growing and more people coming, and so tell them so they don't have to do damage the area or do impact and all that. Timuru is trying to make better things and better place.
We live in a two-way world, no? Yolngo and Baranda's way of life, but we have to be strong in our culture. Our Minji, which is the painting, and the Manike, which you saw, and the didgeridoo all come together, no? And the strength that we be strong to look after our area around here in Gove. It's been very hard living with the people and all the drugs here and drinking and all the bad stuff's happening here in this town, you know.
Do you guys, as landowners,
yes.
do you guys get benefits in terms of
yes,
finance?
Yes, we do. We do have a little bit, you know, but we're still waiting because of the family dispute and the land council. We're still waiting for that, for the benefit what we get from the mining here. That benefit would be for us and our next generation to send them to a good education, good schooling and all that, you know?
I have another question. You mentioned that because there's disputes, there's funds stop coming from the mining.
Yes.
Are you willing to still wait?
Yes, we're fighting back. We got our lawyers. Now we are fighting back. We have been quiet for a long time. Now it's our time to stand up and get our own lawyers and fight back and bring back what belongs to us. You know, it's been for us, you know, it's ours for the long time. The land belongs to us. What the land produces, it's ours, not the people who own, you know, think they own it. You know, if you want to be a strong, have one voice and one leadership amongst your people. You know, don't break away, because we are broken up here, and we like a weak people to fight for our funding and bring it back. You know, because there's been one big association now broken up, and I don't want you guys to be broken up. Be one voice and be strong.
I grew up here and I knew these people, and when we started talking about it, I said, whatever you do, you've got to focus on two things. When you deal with mining companies, remember that there's a defined life. The moment the mine's finished, they're gone. So you have to maximise all benefits whilst they're there. And when I say maximise, it's not just the dollars. It's the jobs, it's the community relations side of it, what they're willing to put back to the communities. It's sustainability after they've left. Because if you just do money, the problem is if you don't then have really good people to look after it, it'll be gone in a very short time. We learnt the more money you have in the bank doesn't make you a better person, it doesn't employ more people, it doesn't give you a community thing. What it does, it just gives opportunity for people to raid it. Right? So a decision was made, 50% must go to investment, and we started an investment board made up of professionals and people. The safety of this was that for the future of the children, for the future of their children's children, was this investment account. That was to be put aside to look at when mining stops, what do we got left? I mean, one of the ideas was someone said, let's buy a lot of houses and rent them to the miners. And I said, good, but what happens when the miners leave? You've got a lot of houses, but you don't have any money coming in. So we said, why don't we build the houses for the miners? So we formed a construction company that helped build houses, which is what we do now. And then we said, well, hang on, if there's going to be a lot of houses left, why don't we get the contract to maintain the houses? So we've got a maintenance contract that goes around and fixes all the houses. So what we did is we just added on and added on and added on without causing losses to the company, because the company had to pay for it anyway. But instead of hiring it from outside, we said, no, we'll start it. And they said, well, how do we get your people to work? We said, well, we'll train them. So we started a training company. And then we got governments in to help us start a training company, which is what we've got now. How can you get maximum value from them? Right? Because they're getting maximum value from the ore. So you need to get maximum value for them. And it's not always, as I said, on dollars on the table. It's what you can provide them. You know, if you can walk away from a table knowing that when they leave, you've got more value in that place than when they came, then you're miles ahead. You have to get strong people on the front. You have to. If you don't, you'll end up you'll end up being swayed. It's very difficult to say who should you have. Okay, you should have legal. You should have someone that's environmentally minded. You should have someone that's community minded. Compassion, believe it or not, is something the mining companies can't deal with. It throws them off. So if you got there and you got someone that believes in the children and the women and all that and the social aspect, the mining companies, oh yeah, no, we'll look after that side, because they're not geared to deal with it. So you need someone that's very passionate from the heart to drive in the social side of all this. Once the deal is done, the deal's done. It may be a good deal, but it's done. There won't be a renegotiation on that. Japanese companies are very similar to companies like working with the Swiss. The Swiss come in, they're excellent in negotiation, and they're excellent in giving you a lot of things. But once you sign, that's it. Don't expect a drop of water. Don't get a social football club saying, can we get a donation to play football? Because I'll say, read this. Dunk. Here's your contract. It's on page 774, paragraph 3, article 4. No.
Good decisions and then good agreements, yeah, that would benefit the community as a whole, and not just for 1-2 leaders get whatever the benefits.
What it really come out now is there needs to be, from the highest level, strong policies, strong regulatory frameworks towards mining. Countries, MGARM stakafinis, but I think the need to really enforce some of those measures, and that policies must not forget him now. Involvement of local communities or landowners, both women, man, everyone should get a voice.
Especially in today's life, people need him selling for school fee, for health services and others. Every day we need him selling. And many people in rural areas the demand for provision of services. And how now we feel government, especially by providing what services, we need him selling.
Me think for me for a long choice, or personally, that is from just a personal point of view. Me think mining is not good for me. I think there are other ways for me for earning living and also having economic development lo country belum any day the choice without having to destroy the environment. Because everything's been taken away from us. The only thing that we have with us is our environment. If we destroy that, that's it. It's gone.
I will be anti-mining all my life. I love my land, I love my people, and I believe that ecotourism is an activity that can bring up our economy.
As we see around here, ecotourism is very important alternative. But again, tourism here thrive because of support you have from the government. And also they have the infrastructures in place. That's what we don't have in Chosol, unfortunately, and indeed in other parts of the Solomons. If you want to encourage tourism, you have to start from the policy level, and government, national and some national governments have to make serious decisions on where to have to spend them resources on him.
I'm the founder of Lidwe Iumi Tourism Corporation. My business started 10 years ago. So now I'm helping other homelands or other people that if they want to start their own businesses. Because tourism is very unique and friendly environment where you see people, different people, and we show them the culture, the languages.
With ecotourism, we can show people our traditional ways of living, and yet from that we can still get some finances, some money. And also with ecotourism, it doesn't destroy our environment.
It doesn't affect environment. It holds the system of our law and telling others what significance about the land.
Ecotourism should be encouraged in Choiseul, but we are also faced with a number of challenges, especially on transportation, especially on sea and land transport, reliability of those transport, and the cost. These are the challenges, but if we continue to really look into it, and then we put our effort, especially the government and also our supporting agencies, and then that is in a very potential economic activities and on a sustainable and environmental friendly that we can support our people with, because we have all these beauties. Blue sea, you can find blue seas around most of the countries. You can see blue sky. You can even find rainforests. Yeah. So all these are our gold mines. Yeah, these are our mines, but they will not come and dig, but they just come and see.
Solomon Aelans, compared to Australia, Solomon Aelans has a very smaller land mass and landowners. As one of the landowners, I see firmly that Solomon Aelans should, especially people from Choiseul, should think carefully before agreeing to such industry to enter our homeland, our home soil.
Being a premier and living with the people, we think we know what's best for our people. Unfortunately, we don't have the legislative competence to make decisions, especially with regards to mining. Mining is not a devolved function, meaning that this will role allowing or disallowing mining to take place in our provinces is vested on national government. Under the current Mining Act, Emilio national government, and also the resource owners. The resource owners ought to allow what they call surface access agreements, meaning you can allow them to enter your land. Even though we think mining is bad for my people and bad for my province, bad for the environment around us, the say I'm still with national government. And until that law am change, I'm still remain that. And that is my concern.
Okay.
We're attending a conference for the next 2 days on mining for development, so we're just walking down to the conference center.
When mines, government negotiates with the people and the company for land to be acquired. And in the case of Tabobil, people have to be relocated off the mines site. They have to build homes for these people to move to stay in. And you're moving primitive people to live in these homes that they have never, ever lived in those type of homes before. You expect them to change, to develop within a blink of an eye.
harem story of Papua New Guinea. Yeah. This is something that all the chiefs, leaders, not only the chiefs, but the elected and church leaders, as well, me follow what the chiefs must think good lohem to say to the landowners that something must done properly in order for no really affecting life belong people belong me follow Isabel.
Even in Papua New Guinea, where they have mining for many years, they still don't have some legislation in place yet to protect children and women. Solomon Aelans, Iumi Redi, some legislation in place for ensure that people are protected, environment are protected, children, women. I don't think Iumi no yet.
Even we've got so much money now sitting there. The life for women since 2007 to now has not changed. It is the same. And I think it has gotten worse. Before I sit down, all I want to say is that I hope this conference will help us all to find a way to find solutions to help our people who are, instead of being empowered and their lives improved because of so much money, these people have become the poorest people in Papua New Guinea. Thank you very much.
So time here di sala women lo is a PNG hem talem that okata left him okata behind, and now imi looking na reality what affecting women in PNG. So me say that hem similar as me for like Solomon Island women too. Particularly I'm speaking of Isabel women. So now I think it's enough that women must that left behind. I think women have to move forward for the betterment and the good of our new generations to come.
Its stakeholders or its partners, like the provincial government, the Mothers Union and Chief, they must also play their part to inform the people in regards to what mining can do, the good thing about mining and also the bad thing. I think it's not good for those of us who have the chance to connect to talk about one side only, to talk about the negative and not to talk about the positive. These two things go together, positive and negative. And that's what we need to do. Those of us who have the chance to connect, we need to talk to our people about both sides of the story and let the people decide.